Hey, it's Bryony from the Somatherapy Collective. I want to talk a little bit about spiritual practice and where I'm sitting right now and what led me to be here right now. And if you like what I am putting into the space and sharing, please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know you're seeing it. Please follow along and also DM me and tell me if there's anything you'd like me to touch on in these shares and in my work that you want to kind of know more about. So back when I started on my journey in the realm of spirituality, I suppose, and really rediscovering who I am was after the death of my mother in the early 2000s. And a lot of my learning and a lot of my foundation is from, originally I came to witchcraft, and that's maintained. And I came into Buddhism. I tried a little bit of yoga. I tried all these different spiritual threads to really find and I suppose bring back those exiled parts of myself after my mother died in 2001. And what I found with a lot of these spiritual ideologies and spiritual texts and spiritual practices, as well as religious. So I really have to background this. I was raised an atheist, though part of my family on my mum's side were high up in the church in the back of Sydney of Jehovah's Witness. So I was raised an atheist, though every time we went to family gatherings, they would bring the watchtower, and from little, they were trying to indoctrinate me and my sister into being a Jehovah's Witness. So I've had some exposure to these kind of what I find quite radicalized and quite very indoctrinated religions, and then arrived at spirituality in the early 2000s, and really found that a lot of the ideologies and spiritual practices and texts, which I really love, like I love Paramahansa Yogananda's work, I love Daniel Odier's work, I love I love the work of Buddha, like I love all of that, and I've taken parts of that and adapted and adopted that into my own practice and into making it move with what is here right now in the world, but also as a woman and also as a mother, and also just as I really feel these texts and these ways of expressing and being in the spiritual field need to evolve. And so I've taken these and I've really adapted and evolved them to fit, and now I teach and share that. Though a lot of the binaries in the initial stages of meeting these spiritual aspects and these texts and these ways and learning and educating, I found that there was so binary and so particular in how you needed to show up and how you had to get rid of things or kind of like exile or cut away the humanness of who you are. And I still, to this very day, even like I purchased a Quran just 12 months ago, and I'm slowly, learning and reading and trying to and understanding it in my body and in my life and in my in the world, because a lot of my spirituality comes from Sufism and comes from Tantrika practices and Tantrika ways of navigating and showing up and being present with practice in the world. And that's what I want to make really clear, that we can go into spaces and places and have these spiritual experiences in retreats and holy places, which I think is a really huge benefit for who we are, for our soul, for community, for humanity. Though it is when you take the work out of the temple, is when you take the work out of those spaces and you create the temple and the sacredness in the day-to-day, in the meeting of the dogmas, in the meeting of the regularity of life, in the chaos, in the supermarket, in driving, in raising your children, in relationship, in getting to know somebody, in even doing your housework. really it's about attending to what is here right now and being in tune with the body and moving with the body in a way that's embodied and whole and supportive of what your system is communicating with you at any one time. And so all the work that I do in and around with clients, with courses, with students is about integrating practice, integrating spiritual way of moving in a whole, empowered, restorative way in the day-to-day, in this breath right now. And I have a 21-day nervous system reset that is just launched, and it's starting on the 1st of November. And this is a really great foundation for you to be able to be held and supported in a daily practice for 21 days in a way that you can really start to integrate what your spirituality, what practice, what sacredness, what tending looks like for you in your day-to-day without leaving your own home. So this 21 days, this is kind of where I started, and things started to really ramp up for me, bringing it out of retreats and bringing it out of temple spaces and integrating it into my everyday was through numerous times of showing up and practicing with other all identifying women in a 21-day practice. And this one is built for these times. This one is meeting what's happening in our nervous systems and meeting the climate in the world right now. This is tending to deep parts of ourselves. And most importantly, it is giving you a roadmap and a blueprint in order for you to integrate and navigate that in your everyday. So then the practice is not just something extra. The practice is you. You are the practice. Every step, every breath, every toning of your voice, every look, every expression is in honor of humanity, of life, of your own power, of your own sovereignty, and of the liberation of all beings. It's a service to a greater picture. It's a service to spirit. I'd love you to join me. Links in my bio. And if you have any questions, reach out, DM me, and we also can jump on a 20-minute call, and we can unpack any of your questions there too.